Arches National Park on NP₃. Hi there, welcome to the National Parks Photography Program. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorites, Arches National Park. Arches is located just outside of Moab, Utah, and Moab being nearby Arches as well as Canyonlands National Park and kind of a mountain bike mecca. It's makes for a great base, lots of hotels and restaurants and amenities. So Arches becomes a very easy place to visit. If you want to do some reading, go back and read Desert Solitaire by Edward Abbey, and you can kind of get a picture for what Arches was like before the whole area built up. But now with all the tourism in the area, it's a very easy place to visit. As you enter the park from the main entrance, you go past the visitor center and up over sort of a mountain ridge. And as you head down the other side of the ridge into the park, it's like entering this amazing surrealist painting with the crazy rock formations and the colors and the LaSalle Mountains in the background. And it's really one of the truly unique and amazing places, not just in the U.S. or the National Park System, but in the world. This collection of sandstone arches is very unique in the world and makes Arches National Park just a great destination, and as I said, one of my very favorite national parks to visit. As you enter the park then, the first area you'll come to is Park Avenue, and then just past that the LaSalle Mountains overlook. And these are a great place to sort of get that introduction into the park, and really a great dawn photo location. The rocks in the area, there's the courthouse towers and the Great Wall and rock pinnacles, and they take great light. That dawn light really it lights them very well, and so it's a great first introduction into the park and these amazing landscapes, and a really worthwhile and easy spot. It's right off the road, and so you can go there and really do some really great landscape photography. Park Avenue also has a really nice trail that, I want to say it's about a mile. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's in that, mile-ish area one way. And so if you have someone to move the car to the other end, you can do it one way, or else it's still a very doable out and back and a worthwhile hike as you enter into the park. Moving past that, you come to Balanced Rock and then the turnout for the windows section of the park. This is sort of the first big collection, or the biggest collection in the park, of all kinds of different arches. You have turret arch and north and south window and double arch. And so one of the great things about Arches National Park, it's such a great place to practice photography because the shapes and the forms you see there are so different from anything you see anywhere else. And so it really invites you to try different angles and to play with composition in a different way than, say, a landscape of mountains and streams and lakes and things like that. And there's no better section in the park to do that than the windows section of the park, just because of this density. I mean, all right off the road. Some short trails and very walkable trails, but a really great place to go and play with composition. As I said, right by there is Balanced Rock. Actually, you'll get to the Balanced Rock lot just before you get to the turnout for window section. And this is just another cool formation right off the main park road. Fun place to go. I have a nice night photograph I took there. And then, think about different angles of these things too. So my favorite photograph of Balanced Rock is one I took actually from the drive going leading out of the windows section. And, I was able to get the low moon, the setting moon, as it kind of set back behind Balanced Rock. And so these are such interesting, prominent features that, you can shoot them from lots of different angles and in different ways. And, there's thousands of photographs of these things, but there's plenty of ways to look at them and make these photographs your own. As we move past that, you get to sort of the icon of Arches National Park and of Utah, and in some ways of the National Park Service, Delicate Arch. Delicate Arch, to get the best views, takes a little more work than some of the other features I've just been talking about. There is an overlook that's very easy to get to, but you're looking at the arch from quite a ways away, and it's not really the best view. But if you park back by Wolf Ranch, and then I think it's about 1.5 miles each way, so a 3-mile round trip takes you right up to Delicate Arch for the real iconic views. And it's Delicate Arch's best shot, sort of the traditional best time to shoot it, is at sunset. The downside of shooting it at sunset, even though, I mean, you do get this great warm evening light, illuminating the whole thing, is, I mean, that's really what it's famous for. So along with the great light, you get lots of other people. It's not sort of the national park's experience that I really prefer. To get that experience, I'd recommend going up at dawn. You can still take some great photographs of the arch and of the area at dawn. The couple times I've done this, I've had the area completely to myself. So you just get that peace, that solitude, being up at the arch and watching the sunrise and watching the light illuminate the cliffs behind the arch is really a very special experience. In fact, the first time I was up there, with the lack of activity up there, a bighorn sheep came literally right up into the area around Delicate Arch and sat down and hung out for a while. And it's just this amazing experience that you can't have when there's 30 other people lined up with their cameras. And it's not that it's bad to go up there in the evening. I think you're going to really have a better experience at dawn. Or even go up at night. My favorite photograph from arches is this one of Delicate Arch that I hiked up at night, and with my trusty battery-powered, 2 million candle power cordless spotlight. And so by going up with this, I was able to light paint the arch and find an angle of it with Orion right in the sky behind it. And it was just like the most fun you can have as a photographer, being up there by yourself. And it was good that I'd been up to the arch several times before, so I kind of knew the way and was able to find the rock cairns that lead the way there. But, just super fun. And again, another... people do light paint that. It's not super innovative to do, but it's less common than some of the other things, and so it gives you a chance to explore photographing the arch in a different way. Moving past Delicate Arch down the main park road, you get to Fiery Furnace, which is just a really cool sort of maze of rocks, and it's a good place to get lost. So they do have ranger-led tours into Fiery Furnace, which is what's recommended, so you don't get lost in a very hot and foreboding environment, but well worth seeing. And then past that, you get to Devil's Garden, which the main arch there is Landscape Arch, which is this long, thin, really unique arch. And then past Landscape Arch, there's a loop trail, which is I think it's in the neighborhood of about 5 miles. And it's a fantastic, really fun loop trail. Great way to get a feel for Arches National Park and the landscapes there. And there's also a campground. I have camped at the Devil's Garden campground, and beautiful campsites, and that was really a tremendous experience to camp right there in Arches National Park. So all told, with the accessibility of the park, you can get a pretty good feel for it in a day. You're not going to see everything, but if you just have a quick visit as you're passing through towards somewhere else, and all you have time for is, one day at Arches, you can see maybe not all of these different things. Well, you could probably swing in and just spend 10-15 minutes at all of them, but in a day, that's time to hike up to Delicate Arch, to go out just the part of the Devil's Garden to Landscape Arch, and then see the windows, Balanced Rock, and Park Avenue. It's a busy day, but that's doable in a day. Obviously, more time gives you more chances to explore different areas of the park and see things more in depth. And And I keep going back, so obviously it's not like you're going to run out of things to do. What's going to happen if you spend just one day there is you're going to want to spend more time. But it is nice to know that you can really get a good feel of it more quickly. If you like Arches National Park and you're really enjoying your time there, make sure to head across the road, as it were, to Canyonlands National Park as well. I'll do a full review of that in the future, but it is important to note that there are some really complementary features and interesting things to see there. And being in the Moab area, spending time in both of those parks together is really a worthwhile experience. If you want to make sure you catch that review of Canyonlands National Park in the future, or other national parks reviews and content, make sure to subscribe to this channel. If you like this video and it's helpful to you in planning your trip to Arches and thinking about photography in Arches National Park, make sure to give a thumbs up to this video down below, and ask me any comments or questions that you might have about Arches and photographing Arches down in the comment sections, and I'll do my best to help you out with those. Until then, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.